Troy Kearns, real estate investor, bringing it to you live from the Rock Island Bridge in Kansas City, Missouri, off the Kaw River with the developer, Mike Zeller. He's a super tall guy. He's large in stature, large in personality. Mike's gonna walk us through this bridge that I invested in. He's got a lot of things going on. You wanna talk about it, Mike?
Sure, I'll step down off my pedestal here. Behind me is what we recognized a few years ago as not just a railroad bridge, a way to get to the other side, but it's land. Railroad bridge are battleships. They're built to carry locomotives, fully loaded freight trains. This one here in the middle of Kansas City in the historic Stockyards district hadn't been used since 1975. My partners and I took a look at that and we thought, that's land. And not only is it land 30,000 square feet right now, we can make more land on it. We're going to cantilever off the sides. We're going double decker. We're going to have 2 bars, 2 restaurants, event space, all kinds of gardens, a dance floor, and just have a hell of a lot of fun out over the Kansas River here in Kansas City.
Let's take a look around where we're at right now, because Mike is a lot of things, but one thing is a historian, I would say, and like a study of all things around. This is the West Bottoms right here. This is where Kansas City started. And right over there is actually the Livestock Exchange building. The convergence is down there of the Missouri River. Hy-Vee Arena is right here. And this is where Kansas and Missouri intersect.
We're about 100 feet from the state line right now. The Kansas River flows north and joins the Missouri River about a mile away from here. And what's nice about this river is it's very calm moving through the city. And the city of Kansas City, Kansas is taking concrete trails down to the riverfront on both sides. Hear those freight trains? It's a major corridor through here. You can see the trains on the bridge to the north. About half the time you look that way. And there's one on the south right now, which is always a lot of fun. Anyway, I was saying it's going to become a boating river. This is a river district that's emerging here on both sides of this river. They're building more apartments in that vacant lot right there. Going to have about 1,500 neighbors next to us. And we're going to be this keystone, this giant steel destination with bars and restaurants 40 feet over the river.
Real quick, if you're interested in this bridge, and I can tell you, if you're an investor, you're looking to be a part of something exciting, this is exciting. This is why I'm a part of it. If you're interested in getting more information, not just from the YouTube video, how can they find out more about your project, more about what you got going on this bridge? Where do they go? Do you have a social media? Do you have a website?
Yeah, we have a website, rockislandkc.com. It's got the full backstory. There's a video there. You can also follow more up to the moment developments at Rock Island Bridge on Facebook. Connect with me personally through rockislandkc.com if you'd like to get a prospectus and consider investing. It's 700 feet long. This bridge is longer than the St. Louis Arch is tall. What we have planned, and you can see the drawings at the website, is pretty exciting, but really that's just phase 1. We're only using about 1/3 of the enterprisable space on this bridge.
Let's go check it out.
Okay.
Let's do it. Originally, when we came up here and we were talking about this bridge, you said basically Kansas City is the only city that really doesn't embrace a river because you're all a bunch of landlubbers.
Yeah.
No, I'm just messing with you. We talked about that another time.
There's that kind of a vibe though. Yeah, we're maybe the biggest city in America that's a river city that hadn't figured out how to embrace our big rivers. So not that we don't want to. The railroads tend to run along the sides of the river. This city was developed after the era of the steamboat.
Right.
Unlike Cincinnati and Pittsburgh, those cities were oriented and more connected to the river because they were built 50 or 100 years earlier.
Speaking of steamboats, do you know anybody who's got one?
Yeah, I know a guy that's got 2 riverboats.
Wow.
You need more riverboats in your portfolio too.
Wow. Do you need a riverboat in your portfolio?
You can't afford to not own riverboats. I see. Gets out here every night and drinks one expensive beer.
This is how it starts, people. All right, so where are we at on the bridge? I know you were, when we talked last time, this little thing used to raise up right here, right?
Yeah, that's a lift gate. There was a big motor that sat up top. You can see the screws. In advance of a flood, they could lift these 3 trusses one at a time up above the height of the levee. The bridge is now in the up position and there's big steel X's below it. It's pinned up.
Okay, so it's not coming down. They welded it.
Yeah.
So how much steel is on this damn thing, and when was this bridge built?
Well, the bridge was built in 1905.
Okay.
This bridge is older than radio.
Good.
And it's a beast because it's, like I said, it's built to carry locomotives, fully loaded freight trains on the move. And critically, unlike car bridges, this railroad bridge was never salted.
Never salted.
Never salted. Of course, salt is the rust of iron.
Rusted iron. Steel. So take a look at this thing right here. So these are the things that used to raise it up. And how would they raise it up?
Big electric motors sit up on top, and they slowly work those big screws, and these individual trusses would rise up maybe a foot or two per hour. So also, we're at the edge of the two big trusses. Each one of these is an NFL football field long. If you see way off in the distance, perhaps some white graffiti up high, that's the end of the central truss. There's another 100 yards of bridge. Patrick Mahomes can't even throw that distance at the far end.
Really? You sure about that?
Not on his knees.
You might get struck by lightning talking about that. So this is interesting too. This is where they're running all the conduit for like the Wi-Fi and the fiber optics cable.
Yeah, that's just a rental right now. That's going to be relocated to the side of the bridge. All of the old rotten railroad ties, and we're going to pull the tracks. That all goes away. And we're building a new steel and concrete deck all the way across the bridge. And here out in the middle of the river, we're going to cantilever steel beams off of each side, 12 foot clear beyond the edge, creating
12 foot on each side, so add an additional 24 feet.
Total, yes. So it'll be nearly 45 feet wide, and we're going to go double decker. The bridge will have an occupancy of about 1,000 people at a time, and that's just phase one. We can double or triple that. So what I'd say is it's a very leaden day here. We got kind of socked in. This is a lot more fun on a sunny day. It throws some lovely shadows out onto the river, but you get a sense of the views. That's downtown Kansas City, Kansas there in the background with the steeples, and they light those up. Kansas City, Missouri is just up the hill to the right behind the Hy-Vee Arena. When we go double decker and get up on top of the bridge, you'll have a nice view of that larger downtown.
What is your vision? When you decided to take on this project, who decides to freaking build a city on a bridge?
I was in a boat with some friends, and we were coming up the river. We were looking at this bridge, trying to figure out what it was. And as we got closer, I realized it was a railroad bridge, and then we could tell that it wasn't in use. And I said, somebody ought to do something with that. Put a restaurant out there, call it Chicken on a Bridge. It was just a throwaway line. I was just kidding, but it kind of stuck in my head. A friend of mine leads a big architectural company here in Kansas City, and he encouraged me. It's like, no, that's not crazy. People actually would like to eat chicken or barbecue, or go to an art fair or a craft beer festival, or maybe have a dance on a bridge over a river. So that was the moment of inspiration for all.
What year was that?
That was in about 2011 was the idea. I started tracking down the owner of the bridge and securing the lease, and then lining up a public partner and state and now federal monies about 4 years ago. It's been a 4-year odyssey for us.
It's real impressive here, what you guys have put together. I know your vision is huge for this thing. I don't buy into things, I buy into people. What he's done here, when he pulls this off, is gonna change the whole old railroad bridge. Who wouldn't want to get married on here? That's kind of the big draw.
I have people call me all the time asking to sign up to get married out here. I can't take those right now because we're not in a position, but we will soon.
And it's gonna be like $10,000, $15,000, $20,000.
$10,000 on a Saturday night for the top deck event space, which goes to the top of the bridge. So I would just say, with this project, what we're doing is we're proving a niche real estate category. That is, railroad bridges can be land. They're not just a way to get to the other side. They can be the destination. As a summation, we will have, for 66 years, Flying Truss LLC, phase one, 30,000 square feet of developed property. All the utilities, restrooms, 12 of them, very nice, 2 commercial kitchens, 3 bars, 3 coffee shops, 2 event spaces, a lot of other space, the ability to triple that over time. We'll have that for 66 years. We're right next to a busy arena. It's a 1-minute walk. In an up-and-coming neighborhood, we're about to have 12 to 1,500 neighbors. This is their local park, their pub, and no debt. And our annual rent is $9,300. And you're on a bridge over a river in the middle of a big city.
And nobody else has done it, and he's doing it. And if you want to get started investing in real estate, why not start with a bridge?